Oh, so, uh... Yay.
Okay, so this is the news that came out yesterday, and I don't know if there's anyone here that reads Japanese, but basically what it says here is this company called Bandai Namco Entertainment, which I don't know if anyone knows or have heard of Bandai Namco, but I'm assuming that a lot of you have. And oh, you can't see my t-shirt. So I am wearing this t-shirt because this is one of their games, Bandai Namco. And they had made an investment into Gangbusters. So we're very happy that they've decided to join us on this journey to make BattleTabs a bigger thing, to grow the community, to grow the team. This is something that we've been working on for many months, and the team over at Bandai Namco had been very easy to work with, and I think at the end of the day, they're thinking around how to build fan communities and how to think long term about some of the things we're exploring with Web3 is very aligned with our thinking and our plan. So they have now joined us as one of the investors. I found a list of some of the other things that they made in the past, and a lot of these are household IPs that I grew up with. So I'm gonna show you guys some of these and see if you recognize them. Now, Ultraman, Kamen Rider. I don't know if does anyone know Kamen Rider? No? Oh goodness. So I grew up with Kamen Rider. I used to watch this religiously when I was in primary school, elementary school. And I used to do this dance. When they transform, they do this dance. Right? So when I was a kid, I would do that every day with my brother. That's just something that we do. So okay, going down the list. Gundam, I think if you a lot of people probably know Gundam is robots from Japan, and in Odaiba, which is an area in Tokyo, I think they built a giant life-size version of the robot and that actually moves. So that's pretty cool. Tamagotchi, I think they kind of invented virtual pets in the 90s. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I've never owned a Tamagotchi. I don't know if anyone had one before, but I think my wife did. Yeah. Dragon Ball, obviously, I think everyone knows Dragon Ball. I remember hiding the comic books onto my desk when I was in primary school, reading it during school. And it's just, yeah. I buy way too many Dragon Ball games that I never finish. The fighting games are great, but I'm just so terrible at it. But I just love watching the animations and stuff. Pac-Man, obviously, it's one of the biggest IPs in gaming. I would love to have some sort of collaboration with them. Obviously, there's a lot of IPs that I think would be an interesting fit with BattleTabs. And I don't know if you guys remember, but there were a whole bunch of things that the communities made. I think Black Pearl made a bunch of these sort of Dragon Ball inspired BattleTab fan art. Like this emoji. We have what else? There's I remember there was a one where you're shooting out the I don't know what to call it. Let me see if I can find it. So I think that would be really cool. Pac-Man, I think, yeah, Pac-Man style-wise works well. I think I like a Tamagotchi tie-in would be pretty cool. So, oh yeah, kite, yeah. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of like interesting things we can potentially do, but it's sort of open discussions. We haven't really dived into the details yet, but I think there's definitely potentials in leveraging some of these things. But obviously, Bandai Namco Entertainment is a massive company. I learned yesterday that they are the third largest gaming publisher in Japan after Sony and Nintendo. And Sony and Nintendo both had both has their own consoles, so that would be probably the biggest one without their own hardware device, which is pretty cool. And so these are the IPs they own. They also publish games like Elden Ring and a bunch of other games that they act as a publisher. So there's a lot of exciting ideas that we're playing around. Yeah. So I'm just gonna quickly catch up. So our primary milestones are, one, we want to take BattleTabs to mobile, and I think a lot of people here knows that we're in the transition of sort of bringing BattleTabs into turning it into a 3D kind of game. And so for the longest time, it's always been this sort of like isometric 2D game. I think going 3D allows us to be more flexible, adding more content, and so far it's been pretty cool seeing the game from different angles. And going mobile is a big one because we know the game will work well on that platform, but it also gives us another opportunity for growth. And most people nowadays play games on their phones, and it's a massive platform that we cannot ignore. Secondly, we have this whole idea of, and I talked about this when we did our C card, where we want to build BattleTabs together with the community. Like we imagine BattleTabs imagine if BattleTabs become one of these IPs, like on the screen. And I think the way we get there is by having you guys all involved. Right? We're seeing a lot of activities from the community, fan arts, projects, guides and tier lists, and a whole bunch of things. And I think Goroko is talking about writing lores for the game, and I think so I think there's a lot of energy. Yeah. So there's like a lot of creative energy in the community that we want to make sure that we continue encouraging you guys to participate. And the way we want to integrate a lot of the activities from the community into our ecosystem is by leveraging the collectible cards that we're releasing. And I think there are a lot of interesting ways we can use it. I've seen some people, like with the current tournament, sort of using that as a reward. I can see that being used in a lot of other different ways. And we are working on defining how we can use the collectible cards to tie activities that are outside of BattleTabs into this wider, this concept of BattleTabs as a universe, or BattleTabs as an IP. So that's sort of another huge goal for us, is to figure out how we get started with that, how do we build sort of this universe of BattleTabs experiences, and by leveraging these trading cards. So those are the main goals for this round of funding. Yeah. So most of our other investors are probably not consumer-facing brands, so we didn't do a call like this, but we thought Bandai Namco. It's a huge company in this space. People would know the IPs that they own. So we thought it would be fun to just talk about it a little bit more. Yeah, I think the very good. Like the way we think about what we're doing, I think a lot of it is quite long term. So instead of trying to just like squeeze a lot of like monetization or like push monetization really hard, we want to make sure that we first focus on making it a good game and look and take care of the community, and then um, think of it as building a brand. Like we always, like Mike always talks about, like people come for the game and stay for the community, so it's a huge part of it. And I think community is a great way to building these big you know, IPs. I keep saying IPs, but I don't know if people know what that means. I don't know. I can't think of a better word to replace IPs. Brand, maybe. Yeah. But anyways, let me quickly check the chat and see if there's any. Yeah. What's an IP? IP is intellectual property, and let me see how they describe it. Major IP, yeah, they just use the word IP. So IP, like these things are all IPs, right? Like take Pac-Man for example. Pac-Man is an IP that can be made into games or cartoons or comic books or other things. Yeah. Cool. So I think it's a simple like announcement, but yeah. So we will probably also make an in-game announcement about this. If you guys have any particular IPs that you love from Bandai Namco that you think would be great for us to collaborate with, let us know, and I can talk to them and see if there's any chance we can, potentially experiment with having some crossover integrations. The Treasure Sandbox project that Jim is working on is almost like an example of how we think about connecting different experiences through the cards. So imagine, so this is just, for example, you can grind for cards in BattleTabs, and then you can go to Treasure Sandbox and see all the cards, and then you can collect them into sets, and there will be a separate game, but it's tied to BattleTabs through the cards. Right? So that's sort of how it's going to work. And we want to use that as an example to help people start to think about like what other things you can potentially build to connect with the cards. And we'll be releasing some tools, possibly maybe some video content, just to help people understand how to get started with these things. Cool. All right. Anyways, I think we'll wrap up the call. Thanks for joining us, and any questions, feel free to ask. You can ping me. I've been very slow on Discord, so my apologies, but I'm going to start catching up today, tomorrow. Yeah, have a good day, and I will be seeing you guys on channels soon. Bye.